In a big development that backs India's narrative on the ceasefire, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has confirmed that it was Islamabad which reached out not only to the US but also to Saudi Arabia in a bid to de-escalate tensions after India's airstrikes under Operation Sindoor. Speaking to Geo News, Dar revealed that Saudi Prince Faisal bin Salman personally asked if he could convey Pakistan's offer to halt hostilities to Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, confirming Riyadh's behind-the-scenes involvement. He said, and I quote, Saudi Prince Faisal bin Salman called and asked if he could tell External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar that Pakistan is ready to stop. Now reacting to it, BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya took to Twitter and wrote, Pakistan continues to unravel under, in fact, the weight of its own admissions. In a stunning revelation, Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has confirmed that India struck the Nur Khan and Shorkot airbases during Operation Sindoor. He went further, claiming that Saudi Prince Faisal bin Salman personally offered to tell External Affairs Minister Jaishankar that Pakistan was ready to stop. From Balakot to Sindoor, Pakistan's denials continue to collapse under truth bombs. A national security embarrassment for them, a strategic validation for India. BJP spokesperson C.R. Kesavan also reacted on the development, saying, and I quote, is the Congress party listening to Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar when he admits that Nur Khan airbase was hit and how Pakistan ran from pillar to post begging Saudi and US to get India to stop? Pakistan is also basically saying that Trump was not the only one who deserves credit. This categorically reiterates what the Indian DGMO said about how Pakistan DGMO besieged India to stop as Operation Sindoor and our Indian armed forces had decimated Pakistan's military and terror infrastructure. The Congress Dirty Tricks Department and their fake and phony propaganda stands exposed again. Dar, in fact, also admitted that India's precision strike targeted Pakistan's major military installations, including, in fact, Nur Khan and Shorkot air bases. And just as Pakistan was preparing to retaliate, contradicting Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's earlier claims of a successful operation. The BJP says the revelation have cemented India's version that a ceasefire was directly brokered between India and Pakistan and that there was no third-party mediation. Let me, in fact, quickly go across to Mr. C.R. Kesavan. He joins me over the phone line. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. C.R. Kesavan. Thank you very much for joining me on this News9 special. Mr. Kesavan, you've really reacted rather strongly to Ishaq Dar's admission. Do you believe that this completely settles the debate that India negotiated from a position of strength with no third-party mediation?
The debate was always settled, but for the Congress party, which was peddling the perilous Pakistan propaganda, and the Congress party continued to speak like the spokespersons of Pakistan. You know, the Congress party, this is a message for the Congress party, because the Congress party never trusted the tri-services press briefing. They never trusted the MEA. They never trusted the government. And they continued to peddle Pakistan's line. This is a startling revelation by the Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan, where he is clearly admitting, that that Pakistan was completely demolished by the attack by the Indian armed forces, and they were running from pillar to post begging. They were begging countries, to besiege India, to stop, and it's very clear that from this that the United States claimed that it was only them. No, he clearly says Saudi Arabia and US were, besieged by Pakistan to get India to stop. And it also reiterates the fact what the Indian armed forces have been saying. They've always said that Pakistan was complete, the military establishments and the terror camps and the terror epicenters of Pakistan were completely pulverized by the brave Indian armed forces. And then Pakistan literally implored the Indian DGMO to stop. So that is extremely clear. But the point in case is the Congress party's, dubious propaganda and the dirty tricks department, which tried to malign, vilify the valor of our armed forces, sully the selfless sacrifice of our armed forces. I think it's time immediately the Congress party should apologize, seek forgiveness, and tender an unqualified and, unconditional apology to the armed forces for doubting the armed forces, distrusting the armed forces, and discrediting the armed forces.
All right. Mr. Keshwan, you've also really, said that Congress relied on foreign versions to attack the Modi government. Are you saying that this is sort of a pattern with the Congress party where the party questions India's official account but readily accepts what foreign leaders say?
You see how the Congress party peddled fakery. They said India was not invited to the G7 summit, and then it was snubbed when the Prime Minister went and held center stage. And then they peddled fake news saying that, this has been a pattern of the Congress party. And I think for the Congress party, the nation never comes first. Only their parochial politics come first. And the Congress stands exposed before the country today. The way in which they've acted against India's interests. In fact, the Congress party has undermined national interest, which is why I'm saying the Congress party ought to tender an unconditional apology. And I think they hope they stop acting irresponsibly, because the way in which the Congress party has conducted itself after the Pahalgam terror attack and after, during Operation Sindoor, which avenged the Pahalgam terror attack, the Congress conduct will live in infamy.
All right, let me also ask you this, sir. Would you say that this entire episode is a classic case of how domestic politics in India sometimes plays into Pakistan's propaganda and vice versa?
You saw how Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party statements were being, paraded in Pakistan. The way in which the Congress leaders insulted the victims of the martyrs of the attack, asking them, will the terrorists have time to ask your religion? And the way they doubted Operation Sindoor and the way they undermined our armed forces, the Congress party has been trying to play a very divisive politics for its domestic agenda, but it has utterly failed. And beyond all that, I think after this statement by the Deputy PM, very clearly stating that how the Pakistan begged and implored other countries and, besieged India to stop. This settles the debate, and I think the Congress party should immediately apologize to the nation for undermining our national interest and should apologize to our armed forces for vilifying the value.
Right, let me ask you this before I let you go, sir. The BJP, you're calling this a strategic validation. Would you say that this entire episode also underlines the need for political consensus on issues of national security, regardless of which party is in power?
The Congress party has to, ensure a ceasefire between its own members. The Congress party didn't trust its own members, be it a former external affairs minister like Salman or Mr. Shashi Tharoor, who is also heading the parliamentary panel on external affairs. They chose not to send them. When the government of India sent them, they acted in the nation's interest. And look at the way the Congress party attacked them. Even yesterday, you saw Mr. Tharoor very clearly saying that there was no talk of mediation at all. And that's what they told the U.S. government. But the Congress party doesn't put the nation's interest first. They continue to peddle a pro-Pakistan line. And, it's very clear. Why has the Congress party under Rahul Gandhi been rejected for the last 3 times in the Lok Sabha elections? It's very clear. Because the Congress doesn't trust our nation, doesn't trust our armed forces, and which is why the people in turn don't trust the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. C.R. Keswan, for joining me with all of those important insights. Well, for those who have just joined us and are wondering what exactly has happened, big revelations now emerging in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor. Pakistan's own Deputy Prime Minister admitting that Islamabad reached out to multiple countries, including the US and Saudi Arabia, after India's strike. Their Operation Sindoor, in fact, India's strikes. This directly brings into question the long-standing narrative that the ceasefire was brokered solely through US intervention, something President Trump has often claimed credit for. In fact, it also raises political questions back home, with the Congress in the past citing Trump's version to question the government's handling of the situation. And now, as new facts come to light, do these disclosures finally settle the debate? Let me quickly go across to my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who joins me over the phone line with more details on the same. Brijesh, I'll start with the United States. Before I go on and discuss about Congress as well, President Trump claimed he brokered peace after the strikes. What exactly happened? But with Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister now admitting that they reached out to multiple countries, Trump's claims have fallen flat and they clearly are increasingly overstated.
See, I think, it's a very strange situation where, the person who was directly in line of fire, which is Pakistan, which suffered heavy casualty as far as India is concerned, is in itself saying a completely different thing than what is being, told by American President Donald Trump. It's extremely surprising and bizarre, the fact that, the American president has claimed now, I think, more than 10 and 11 times that, it was he who brokered a peace deal between India and Pakistan, a claim which India has consistently refuted. In fact, if you remember, a couple of days back, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a 35-minute long chat with U.S. President, and in this particular conversation, it was made crystal clear that there was cessation of hostility. The term which Indian government used was something which was done only after Pakistan DGMO approached the Indian DGMO and said that that we want to put an end to the hostility which is going on between the two countries, and only after that India agreed for it. And it was, but the narrative which was spun forth by United States and the POTUS was that it was America who brokered the deal. I think this particular admission by Mr. Dar should clearly put paid to the effort on the part of the American government to suo moto claim that they are the one who have brokered this particular deal between India and Pakistan.
Right. Continue to stay with us, Brijesh. I'm also joined by Congress MP Rashid Alvi over the phone line. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Alvi. Let me ask you this. The Congress has repeatedly questioned the Modi government's handling of the ceasefire, suggesting that there was foreign intervention. Today, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister has admitted publicly that it was in fact Pakistan who reached out to multiple countries out of desperation. In light of this, sir, was Congress wrong in raising doubts about the government's version?
It is not Congress party. It is President Trump. He is claiming it. And he is a good friend of Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. So BJP should raise this question and ask this question to President Trump. Why they are asking this question from us? Congress party has nothing to do with it. And definitely, ceasefire has been taking place under the pressure of United States. And one thing which I want to ask, our Foreign Secretary, he has given a statement in Hindi language. Why not in English language? The way our Prime Minister has spoken to Trump, he is a brave person. So this news should go to every corner of the world. Why in Hindi? Why not in English? Our people are not fooled by, if Bharatiya Janata Party and BJP government thinks that they can misguide this nation, so it is not so. Definitely, ceasefire has taken place under the pressure of the United States. Just in the evening,
Mr. Alvi, I'm sorry to interrupt. Let me ask you this. While Trump may have made those claims, he certainly made these claims. But the truth also is that the Congress repeatedly used his version to question the Modi government's handling of the entire India-Pakistan tensions. Isn't there a difference between a foreign leader making a claim and a national party using that to target India's official version?
It is our responsibility as an opposition party to raise questions. During so-called Sindoor operation, we were standing with the government. We didn't raise even a single word. And all the time we said we are with our government. But the moment this Sindoor operation was over, so it was I have myself raised this question. Our Prime Minister has promised, घर में घुस मारेंगे, चुन के मारेंगे, बची कुची जमीन खत्म कर देंगे. So humbly, with due respect, it is our responsibility to ask whether you have done it, whether you have achieved it, whether you have killed Azhar Masood, whether you have killed other terrorists. Now, Chief of the Army Staff of Pakistan is having lunch with President Trump.
All right.
Do you think it is ordinary thing?
Mr. Alvi?
Why? This is the foreign policy of our country.
Right.
Pakistan has been appointed vice chairman of Anti-Terror Committee of United Nations. You can't hide from India this.
Right.
We definitely, we should raise such questions. And government, why our Prime Minister is silent? Every time he is an expert to tweet, but now he is not even, there is no tweet.
Mr. Alvi, Right. Mr. Alvi, we do understand that democracy demands questions, but national security, demands that those questions are grounded in facts, not in versions put out by foreign leaders or rival nations. In fact, when it comes to India, it's very important that we all stand united.